Dark academia was the aesthetic of 2020. Seriously, it changed how people dressed, how they decorated their homes, the activities they participated in, and even how they imagined education and a passion for learning. Not only that, it influenced authors to write dark academia novels all around the world. It revived interest in classic literature and reading and writing, and our hobbies became more of obsessions. And it romanticized an academic lifestyle while people were locked up at home and had nothing else to do.
'Tis not too late to seek a newer world, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are.
During that time on Pinterest, DA became the most reposted aesthetic. And you would see on TikTok and Instagram, millions of hashtags being used. But now, years later, people are beginning to ask the question, is dark academia dead? And that confusion is exactly what this video is about. So what is dark academia described as on the internet? According to Google, dark academia is a subculture and literary genre romanticizing Western education, art, and literature, featuring Gothic Victorian architecture, tweed vintage fashion, old books, themes of intellectualism, often centered around elite universities. During the pandemic, this just exploded all over the internet, and it had been around, but it had not been recognized until 2020, like fully. So its roots do lie in books like *Brideshead Revisited, but the term wasn't actually coined dark academia until much later. The beginning of the dark academia tag actually originated in 2015 on a Tumblr post, referring to the one and only Donna Tartt's The Secret History. This is quite literally the blueprint for what the aesthetic is based on. If you have a question about what the interiors look like, if you have a question about how you should dress, go to this book and read what it says. In fact, I will read you some of the interiors from this book, just so you know what it's supposed to be. First up, we have Richard's dorm room.
And it was with something of a shock that I saw it for the first time. A white room with big north-facing windows, monkish and bare, with scarred oak floors and a ceiling slanted like a garret's. And this description really reminds me of the Dead Poets Society dorm room, because that is what it's describing. It's describing a dorm room, and I mean, I don't know. You read the description, you tell me if you think it looks the same. This one's good. It says, it was a beautiful room, not an office at all, and much bigger than it looked from the outside. Airy and white, with a high ceiling and a breeze fluttering the starched curtains. In the corner near a low bookshelf was a big round table littered with teapots, Greek books, and there were flowers everywhere. Roses and carnations and anemones on his desk, on the table, on the windowsill. And skipping the description of the amazing smells. Next, that takes us to everywhere I looked was something beautiful. Oriental rugs, porcelains, tiny paintings like jewels. A dazzle of fractured color that struck me as if I had stepped into one of those little Byzantine churches that are so plain on the outside. Inside, the most paradisal painted eggshell of gilt and tesserae.
And the best description of them all, and there are more, but this is my favorite one, is Francis's estate, his family estate, which is an inherited country house, okay? So we're not talking about a modern house here. We're talking about something that has history.
The entrance hall had a sweet, musty smell, and it was so dim it almost seemed gaslit. The walls were spidery, with shadows of potted plants, and on the ceilings, so high, they made my head reel. Loomed distorted traces of our own shadows. Someone in the back of the house was playing piano. Photographs and gloomily gilt-framed portraits lined the hall in long perspectives. Walking into the library, I took in my breath sharply and stopped. Glass-fronted bookcases and Gothic panels stretching 15 feet to a frescoed and plastered medallion ceiling. In the back of the room was a marble fireplace big as a sepulchre and a globed gaselier. Dripping with prisms and strings of crystal beading sparkled in the dim. There was a piano too, and Charles was playing, a glass of whiskey on the seat beside him. He was a little drunk. The Chopin was slurred and fluid, the notes melting sleepily into one another. A breeze stirred the heavy moth-eaten velvet curtains, ruffling his hair. And the final one, Francis got close behind us. We went down the hall and through several rooms. A lemon yellow sitting room with gilt mirrors and chandeliers. A dining room with dark mahogany. Rooms I wanted to linger in but only got a glimpse of. Yes, it talks about a lemon yellow sitting room.
And this is the estate where, you know, it kind of becomes the center of all of the characters' worlds. It's where they read, drink, talk about Greek tragedies. And this would technically be the space that people are or should be describing when they're trying to sell or create something that's dark academia online, because this space comes directly from the book. So now that you know what the dark academia aesthetic is supposed to be and what the interiors actually look like, let's talk about what it's not, okay? Because this is the part that has been mixed up online, and it's slowly becoming the reason why I feel we don't see DA the way we used to in its correct form. And this is going to sting a little for some people, okay? And if that's you, I don't make the rules here. I just follow them. What dark academia is not and what it has become is black on black interiors that are more modernized. And I think the mix-up has come from the fact that interior designers may be being asked to make a room dark academia and them not knowing what the term originated from, and they think dark refers to tones of a room. But in fact, that's not what it is at all. The dark in dark academia is, of course, referring to the dark undertones of the story. We're talking about murder, violence, obsession, debauchery, self-destructive lifestyles, overpowered professors, student life, secret societies, rituals, and lots of secrets in general. And of course, when we talk about the academic part, it's self-explanatory. We're talking about a passion for learning, researching, pursuing an academic career, or pursuing something obsessively that it takes over your life, living on a school campus, professors, studying, reading, libraries, book clubs, and secret societies. And when you combine those two things, that is what makes dark academia. And the setting in this book is crucial for the way that you would design a room that would fit in this book, okay? In this novel, there are no smartphones. It's like a pre-digital world. There's historic buildings, there's an old elite college, there's an inherited country estate. So when you think about the environment and the setting of this novel, nothing in this says black on black modern. So how did dark academia turn from this to this? First things first, a lot of interior designers, lifestyle bloggers, and online stores began labeling anything that was moody, dark, or gothic as dark academia. And it was these large sites such as HGTV, Architectural Digest, and Home and Garden, and others, like so many others, that really started circulating this new wave of DA, which was more like gothic academia, if anything, not what DA is from the actual book. Because everything that you see in these images that I'm showing from the direct articles themselves and other interior designers, and also I'm not throwing shade at any interior designers because I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying it's not the aesthetic. Because what you're seeing here, it's pretty modern. It's pretty modern. So it slowly but surely has turned the aesthetic into something that it's just not. And over time, it has continued to do so. I have not really seen it revert back to the original at all, especially in interiors. But again, I'm not expecting everyone to know that it's from a book and to have read the book to know what it says in there. How can you expect that? You just can't. But even to this day, like even this year, pretty recently, I've been seeing more makeovers that are still black on black modern. It's crazy. And I've always said this, but if the original creator of that Tumblr post comes forward and says, I meant for it to be just black on black interiors, by all means, I will take this back. And now a lot of people are saying, well, dark academia is evolving. Of course, anything can evolve. But here's the thing, if it evolves into something that was never DA to begin with, then we no longer have DA. It's something else. It's like, it's not an aesthetic you can just recreate because it comes from a book. It's tied to the world that the book describes on paper. So to change it and say it's the same thing and it's evolving doesn't really make sense to me too much. I even looked into the Interiors of Brideshead Revisited, and even that book talked about things being more colorful. Nothing was mentioned to be black, just saying. And I see a lot of creators that do dark academia makeovers, and they will keep their walls a lighter color, and people will blow up their comment section saying, that's not DA, your walls have to be black or dark color, when in fact they're doing textbook DA. And I really think that overall it's like the mix-up of dark being equated to dark colors, not the moody undertones of a literary story, which is what it actually is. And that leads me to the fact that a lot of dark academia decor even is becoming modern. Like, look at these items, for instance, that I found on a website that are calling in DA decor. This is not accurate. And you can 100% get something that is mass produced and new that fits in with the aesthetic, but it has to fit in with the aesthetic.
Now, what about dark academia fashion? I think it's safe to say that it has stuck to its roots. We've still got the tweed blazers, turtlenecks, plaid skirts, loafers, wireframe glasses, earth tones, and this is a style that I continuously see online and in person all the time. I do. I think that it's not going to die just because this is a style rooted around presenting yourself in a intellectual way, I suppose. It's kind of a bit classic mixed with vintage, and that style is very appealing to people, especially in a professional setting. And with college enrollment currently increasing, I think that it is definitely a style that is going to stick around long term. Yeah, it will stick around long term for sure. I don't think this is going anywhere, and I think that it is staying true to itself, staying true to its original form.
I think it's been very misconstrued when it comes to the interiors though, which affects the whole visual of it when you now look it up online, and that is what has been messed up. Now, when it comes to dark academia, the genre of novels, this is spot on to the original definition. I've yet to read a book that describes some modern, sleek, black on black home. If anything, it's always similar to The Secret History. So I think authors specifically have probably read The Secret History, which is what inspired them, or something similar, which is what inspired them to write something that's dark academia. And therefore, you know, the way that they describe the interiors in the world is going to be more on point to the actual aesthetic itself. So I have nothing to say about the books surrounding this aesthetic. And I think overall, the dark academia literary genre has survived. So all that to say, is dark academia dead? No, it's not dead, but it is a bit diffused, and the visuals of it have changed due to mainstream media. I appreciate all the people that have continued to post OG photos that actually represent what it is. Unfortunately, yeah, the mainstream media has commercialized it a bit and has made it into something more modern. I hope that just because of how beautiful the interiors of the actual aesthetic are, I hope that we can go back to that and not just call any dark, moody room DA. I hope so. I don't know. Because the real dark academia, it lives in books, architecture, discipline, obsession, and if you're only looking at shopping links or just interiors, you're not going to see what it actually is. You're not going to know what it actually is. It still exists, but it's different. And what went viral originally isn't what it's become. And again, I'm not speaking about anything related to the fashion of it or the authors that write novels surrounding this genre. That is spot on. It's the interiors specifically. So what aesthetics have taken DA's place? Although DA still exists, yes, but I'd say light academia and old money have taken place. It's like a lighter, happier aesthetic. But all that to say, it doesn't mean that dark academia is not on the rise to once again resurface in a viral way. Maybe it'll take over once again and it will become all that it's meant to be. We'll see. I don't know. But that is it for my very long rant about whether dark academia is dead or not. I hope you enjoyed it. I am terrified to make controversial videos talking about this aesthetic. I know some people agree with me and some people don't agree. And if you don't agree, that's totally fine. And if you want to see more of my DA videos, because I have so many, I think I have an entire playlist of them, you could check it out. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.